Thank you for staying with Banama World with me, Melissa Ong. As promised, we bring you an exclusive interview between my colleague Jesse Chahal and His Excellency Antonio Costa, President of the European Council. Let's take a look.
I speak with the Honourable Antonio Costa, President of the European Council, who is a Portuguese lawyer and politician and has served as President of the European Council since 2024. He's also previously served as the Prime Minister of Portugal from the year 2015 to 2024. Thank you very much for having time for us today amidst your very busy schedule here at ASEAN. Let's begin there at the 47th ASEAN Summit. How are you feeling and what have been some of the highlights for you?
Well, first of all, for me it's a great honor to be here. We are living in the multipolar world who requests a multipolar cooperation, and for this it's very important the relationship between the European Union and the ASEAN. And as you know, the European Union is a reliable, predictable and trustworthy partner, and I think this summit was a very good opportunity to show this.
Right, and let's begin exactly there. How does the EU view the partnership or its partnership with ASEAN given today's global challenging landscape? And what are some of EU's priorities in strengthening engagement with Southeast Asia via ASEAN?
Well, we have a triple dimension of our relationship: on politics, on economics, on people to people. On the economics, we have developed a very important network of trade agreements already signed with Vietnam, with Singapore, very recently with Indonesia, and we are negotiating with Malaysia, with Philippines, with Thailand. And this is very important because improved trade relations is the best way to boost our prosperity and to boost our prosperity in the shared way.
Let's move to the free trade agreement. The idea of a region-to-region free trade agreement is exciting, but that's been on the table for years, Mr. President. With this independence or interdependence of economic growth, is there some sort of will towards a better or more progressive or aggressive FTA negotiations, or will the focus still remain with individual countries within ASEAN?
Look, we need to be pragmatic. If it's not possible to do a region-to-region agreement, then we negotiate bilateral agreements. As what we have done already with 3 of the ASEAN member states is what we are doing with Malaysia, with Thailand, with Philippines, and we hope to conclude these trade agreements as soon as possible.
So that is something that you are looking into closely, a region-to-region free trade agreement.
If it's possible, wonderful. If it's not possible, we need to continue to work on this bilateral basis. But what we could not afford is our commitment to develop our trade. Because what our experience show with these previous trade agreements we have signed in the region is that the trade increased between 30 and 40%. That is huge for your economy, it's huge for our economy, and is the best way to promote prosperity and share prosperity.
Right. The EU has championed a strategy known as de-risking, and in terms of ensuring that that plan or that strategy can be seen throughout Southeast Asia, what are your thoughts on that? To move into ASEAN economies through trade and supply chain integration, of course, and technology.
This is critical. We learn all of it after the shortage, after the COVID, that we need to secure our supply chains, to diversify our suppliers, to ensure access to critical raw materials, and to ensure access to the markets. And for this, I think everybody now understands that it's very important to weave a very strong network to reinsure our supply chain.
Having said that, EU is ASEAN's 3rd largest trading partner. That's some big numbers there. Given the current global trade disruptions and the push for supply chain as well, how can the EU and ASEAN work together better?
We are working together very, very well. And for sure, when we conclude these 3 trade agreements on negotiation, we will do better than we are doing today.
Is there a benchmark for better?
Yes, look, we are effective not only the third trade partner, but we are also the second investor partner in the region. Then we can continue to develop on this, and when we conclude these 3 new trade agreements, for sure we will do more than we are doing now.
And in terms of deepening the bilateral ties within ASEAN with each individual countries, how are you going to balance some of these engagements, and what are you doing to ensure that this then doesn't create divergent priorities individually? So it is almost attempting to engage with ASEAN as a bloc, but then yet the EU having those individual bilateral relationships with per country.
We have the same kind of commitment with all of the ASEAN member states. What kind of agreement we reach with each other depends on the specificity of them. But we have also common projects. On the frame of the Global Gateway, we are engaged to support up to 10 billion euros of investment, especially on the ASEAN grid. Then we want to engage with the ASEAN countries collectively or bilaterally, but it's up to ASEAN and their countries to decide it.
Right, and so you're open for that conversation and open for better negotiations to happen down the line. I want to bring you back to the 47th ASEAN Summit. We've seen some wonderful milestones here. We've had superpowers, global superpowers come to this summit with the US President and the Chinese Premier, but also seeing ASEAN take in its 11th member as a bloc. What does that resonate for you in terms of moving forward for a future?
No, first of all, we are very honored. For the very first time, the European Union has been invited to participate in the ASEAN Summit. This is very important for us, and we have a great, and for us as a great value in this, and we are very honored. And what we assist during over the last year of the Malaysian president of ASEAN is huge achievements. First of all, ASEAN defined a vision for the coming years. ASEAN ensured the enlargement to the 11th member states, to Timor-Leste, and ASEAN made, and the Malaysian presidency made a very important role mediating in the conflict between Cambodia and Thailand. And if we have peace today, we must thank Malaysian mediation to stop this conflict.
And we also extend our gratitude to you for being present here and for the presence of EU to show its support throughout ASEAN and what we need to do in this part of the world. And moving forward, we look to better relationships.
And for sure we will stay, because as I said, we are reliable, predictable and trustworthy party.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.